What if I told you that one man faced the apocalypse twice and lived to tell the tale? That a man could be standing in the heart of Hiroshima, live through the world's first atomic bomb attack. Then 3 days later, stand in Nagasaki and live through that too. This isn't a myth. This isn't science fiction. This is the story of Tsutomu Yamaguchi, the man who survived both atomic bombs. Tsutomu Yamaguchi was 29 years old in the summer of 1945, an engineer for Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, a husband, a father to a baby boy. Just a man trying to finish his work and return home safely in the final days of a war that had already taken too much from too many. He had no idea that his name would be etched into the unthinkable. In early August, Tsutomu was sent from his hometown Nagasaki to Hiroshima, a 3-month business trip to assist with ship designs. He was there with 2 colleagues. Their work was done. August 6th, 1945, was supposed to be his last day in Hiroshima. His bags were packed. He was walking to the train station. Then, the sky changed forever. 8:15 a.m. A silver American B-29 bomber named Enola Gay dropped a single bomb. Little boy. It detonated 600 meters above the city, a blinding flash, a mushroom cloud. Yamaguchi was just 3 kilometers from ground zero. The shockwave lifted him off his feet and hurled him into a ditch. His eardrums burst, the entire left side of his body was scorched, his arms, face, legs burned. But somehow, he survived. He spent the night in an air raid shelter, surrounded by the groans of the dying. His 2 colleagues, also wounded, were alive. The next day, he wrapped himself in bandages and stumbled to the ruins of Hiroshima Station, where a train, miraculously still running, carried him through the blackened countryside, back to Nagasaki. He arrived on August 8th, dazed, blistered, barely standing, but he was home. He reunited with his wife and infant son. The next day, he went to work. Yes, work. At Mitsubishi's Nagasaki office, he tried to explain what he'd seen, the flash, the firestorm, the vanishing of an entire city in seconds. His boss didn't believe him. No single bomb, they said, could do that. August 9th, 11:02 a.m. The second bomb, Fat Man, exploded over Nagasaki. Tsutomu was once again about 3 kilometers from the blast. The office crumbled, glass shattered, beams collapsed. He hit the floor, covered his head, and lived through a second nuclear attack. Meanwhile, his wife and child, out searching for burn ointment, had taken shelter in a tunnel near the city's edge. They survived too. How does a man survive 2 nuclear blasts? Each designed to wipe out an entire city. Was it statistical fluke, divine protection, or something else entirely? Some call him the luckiest man who ever lived. Others say he was cursed, marked by radiation, loss, and memory. He lost hearing in one ear. His body bore permanent scars. He suffered from radiation sickness for years. He buried co-workers, friends, family. And yet he lived. He raised his son. He taught school. He planted flowers. He smiled. He aged. He lived to 93. In his later years, he said, "The reason I hate the atomic bomb is because of what it does to the dignity of human beings." He didn't just endure history, he testified to it. He became a peace activist, speaking against nuclear weapons, telling his story not with hatred, but with urgency. In 2009, the year before his death, the Japanese government officially recognized Tsutomu Yamaguchi as the only double hibakusha, a survivor of both Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Unofficially, there were others, but Tsutomu chose to speak, to remember publicly, to carry the weight so others wouldn't have to. His story isn't just about survival, It's about the fragility of humanity, the violence of war, and the resilience of the human spirit. He stood at the center of two nuclear catastrophes and walked away from both. But he never walked away from their meaning. And maybe that's what makes his story so powerful. Not just that he survived, but that he remembered, and chose to remember so the rest of us wouldn't forget. Not luck, not curse. Just a man who bore witness, twice. If you've made it this far, thank you. Because Tsutomu Yamaguchi's story deserves to be heard, not just in textbooks, but in hearts. Let his memory echo, not as a victim, but as a voice. Subscribe. Because here, the forgotten still speak. And the stories history tried to bury seal, we dig up and tell.